In this video, I'm going to be talking about how I took my account from looking like this a couple months ago to looking like this today. Let's go. Welcome back, family. I make videos about building wealth along with the winning mindset because I believe that everybody deserves to be happy and everybody deserves to be free. So one of my goals for 2023 was to learn something about Bitcoin every day. And in my education, my conviction about Bitcoin going to 100,000 in 2024 and much higher than that in 2025 has only increased. So in my portfolios that relate to the stock market, I've sold out of a lot of the different positions I had in future tech and shifted it all to blockchain. And outside of the stock market, for my digital assets portfolio, I'm focusing on Bitcoin and a handful of other coins. I'll talk about that in a future episode. So switching up my portfolios, I felt good about going into 2024. And then I came across this company called YieldMax. And what YieldMax does, it buys and sells options contracts. And if you don't know what that means, you don't need to worry about it. And the profits that they generate from those contracts turn into dividends for the shareholders. So for their most volatile stocks, the yields are crazy high. I saw that they had Tesla in the form of Tesla, and so I bought up shares and was collecting dividends, and that was great. And then in August, I saw that they added Coinbase as Coiny. And that got me thinking, if I know that Bitcoin is going to do well in 2024 and even better in 2025, and Coinbase is correlated to Bitcoin in that whenever Bitcoin goes up, Coinbase goes up. And I know that Coney will go up whenever Coinbase goes up. It felt like me to be a no-brainer. I'm gonna buy up Coney shares, collect the dividends, and when Bitcoin is at its max in 2025, I'm gonna sell so I can redistribute into something later. So my next step was to figure out how much money I should be investing in this thing. Obviously, the more money you put in, the more dividends you'll get back, but I didn't have a lot of disposable income, so I just started buying 1 or 2 shares when I had the money. And companies are constantly asking me to take out loans with them. I take out loans and I pay them back ahead of time because all I do is buy assets with my loans and then pay the money back as soon as possible. And Best Egg told me that I was pre-approved for 50K. And I said, 50K, bet. So I crunched the numbers to figure out how much dividends that I would get if I put 50K into Coney, and the dividends I would receive way outpaced what I would have to pay as a minimum payment. So I started the application, and before I hit accept offer, I checked in with another credit union that I have a relationship with. I asked for 50. They countered with 35 with a minimum payment of $675. And I was like, bet. So I got the 35. I put 30K into Coney, and then I took out 13K from my personal line of credit, put that into Coney. So I'm sitting with close to 2,000K in Coney shares. The first payout was a little over 2,000. And to flip that money to make it grow even bigger, I opened up a margin account with Robinhood. So now I have access to an extra 40K that I can put into Coney. But what I'm doing with that is trading in and out of Coney shares. I buy before the X date to maximize the dividend payout that I'm gonna get, and I sell before margin interest is charged. So when my dividend payments do come to me, it doesn't go to the margin balance. Let's talk about the cons and the safeguards that I'm putting in first. Because I'm earning dividends in my brokerage account, this is a taxable event. So any dividends that I do get, I reserve 30% and I put that into my Ally Savings tax account just in case I have to pay in taxes that year. I avoid margin interest by selling the money I used in margin before the 14th of each month. Let's say Bitcoin takes a nosedive, which means Coinbase would take a nosedive. Coney would also decrease. I can buy put contracts for Coney. In the event of a Black Swan event, I'm still gonna get paid. And I know that with Robinhood, if you have a margin balance and you collect dividends, the dividends would go immediately to your margin balance instead of paying to you directly. So I need to make sure that there's no margin balance so I can collect all those dividends so I can pay all the people who I owe. Pro, the amount of money that I'm getting in dividends is nice. Because I'm 99.9% sure Bitcoin's gonna go up, this Coney asset that I'm buying will also blow up in the future. So the 43,000 that was not my own money will blow up to be something bigger, so I can pay off the loans when I sell out of everything in 2025 if the dividends haven't already. The dividends will allow me to either pay off the loans faster or buy more digital assets, which will also increase throughout 2024 and 2025. If I don't need the money that I transferred out to my tax liability savings account, I can use that to either pay off the loan faster or buy more digital assets. Because Kony continues to appreciate in price, when I go to sell my marginal shares, I'm not triggering wash sells. And the best thing of all is I'm not using any of my own money to do this. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Building wealth is not a game of checkers, it's a game of chess. Finding the right loan took some time. The paperwork for the loan took some time. Trying to get things finalized took some time. And because I've never taken out this much money in a loan for assets before, I was getting really nervous. It felt like nothing was coming together. But then I thought back to all the other times where I was doing something risky and it felt like obstacle after obstacle was being thrown in my path. After I got through all that crap, it was the greatest decision of my life. So I knew that I was onto the right track because everything felt like it was going wrong in the beginning of this process. I crunched the numbers so many times. I made sure everything was legit, so I felt comfortable in trusting in myself. Let me know what you guys think of my plan in the comments. I'll be reading. If you learned something, pay that like tax. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope your holidays are filled with happiness and love. And until the next one, remember to smile because you are beautiful. Peace. What's up, fam? Thanks again for watching. If you're still here, you're a real one. And I'd like to offer you a choice. Continue floating through life or make plans to start really living. Pick the video on the right to help your money reach new heights, or pick the video on the left to make your mindset the best. And remember, all I'm offering you is the truth.